9 changes of the watery star hath been the shepherd's note since we have left our throne without a burden. Time as long again would be filled up, my brother, with our thanks, and yet we should for perpetuity go hence in debt. And therefore, like a cipher, yet standing in rich place, I multiply with one, we thank you, many thousands more that go before it.
Stay your thanks a while and pay them when you part.
Sir, that's tomorrow. I am questioned by my fears of what may chance or breed upon our absence. That may blow no sneaping winds at home to make us say, this is put forth too truly. Besides, I have stayed to tire you.
We are tougher, brother, than you can put us to it.
No longer stay.
1 7-night longer.
Very sooth, tomorrow.
We'll part the time between us then, and in that I'll no gainsaying.
Press me not, beseech you so. There is no tongue that moves, none in the world so soon as yours could win me.
Tongue-tied, our queen? Speak you.
I had thought, sir, to have held my peace until you had drawn oaths for him not to stay. You, sir, charge him too coldly. Tell him you are sure all in Bohemia's well, this satisfaction the bygone day proclaimed. Yet of your royal presence I'll venture the borrow of a week. When at Bohemia you take my lord, I'll give him my commission to let him there a month behind the just prefix for party. Yet, good deed, Leontes, I love thee, not a jar o' the clock behind. What lady she her lord? You'll stay?
No, madam.
Nay, but you will.
I may not, verily.
Verily, you put me off with limber vows, but I, though you would seek it then spear the stars with those, should yet say, sir, no going. Verily, you shall not go. A lady's verily is as potent as a lord's. Will you go yet? Force me to keep you as a prisoner, not like a guest.
Your guest then, madam. To be your prisoner should import offending, which is for me less easy to commit than you punish.
Not your jailer then, but your kind hostess. Come, I'll question you of my lord's tricks and yours when you were boys. You were pretty lordlings then.
We were, fair queen, 2 lads that thought there was no more behind but such a day tomorrow as today, and to be boy eternal.
Was not my lord the very away the two?
We were as twinned lambs that did frisk in the sun and bleat the one at the other. What we changed was innocence for innocence. We knew not the doctrine of ill-doing, nor dreamed that any did. Had we pursued that life, and our weak spirits ne'er been higher reared with stronger blood, we should have answered heaven boldly, not guilty. The imposition cleared hereditary ours.
By this we gather you have tripped since.
Oh, my most sacred lady, temptations have since then been born twos. For in those unfledged days was my wife a girl. Your precious self had then not crossed the eyes of my young playfellow.
Oh, grace to boot, of this make no conclusion, lest you say your queen and I are devils. Yet, go on. If you first sinned with us, and that with us you did continue fault, and that you slipped not with any, but with us.
Is he won yet?
He'll stay, my lord.
At my request he would not. Hermione, my queen, thou never spokest to better purpose.
Never?
Never but once.
What? Have I twice said well? When was it before? I pray thee tell me.
Why, that was when 3 crabbed months had soured themselves to death, ere I could make thee open thy white hand and clap themselves my love. Then didst thou utter, I am yours forever.
'Tis grace indeed. Why, lo you now, I have spoken the purpose twice. The one forever earned a royal husband, the other for some while a friend.
too hot. To mingle friendship far as mingling bloods. I have tremor cordis on me. My heart dances, but not for joy. Not joy. This entertainment may a free face put on, derive a liberty from heartiness, from bounty, fertile bosom, and well become the agent. It may, I grant. Mamilius, art thou my boy?
Ay, my good lord.
Ye vex, why that's my boy cock. What hast thou smutched thy nose? They say it is a copy out of mine. Art thou my calf?
Yes, if you will, my lord.
Thou want'st a rough pash, and the shoots that I have to be full like me. Yet they say we are almost as like as eggs. Women say so, that will say anything. But were they as false as dice are to be wished by one that fixes no bourne twixt his and mine? Yet were it true to say this boy were like me, may it be? Affection, thy intention stabs the center. Thou dost make possible things not so held. Thou mayst conjoin with something, and thou dost, and that to the infection of my brains and the hardening of my brows.
What, my friend?
Something seems unsettled.
How, my lord?
What cheer? How is it with you, best brother?
You look as if you held a brow of much distraction. Are you moved, my lord?
No, in good earnest. How sometimes nature will betray its folly. Looking on the lines of my boy's face, methoughts I did recoil 23 years, and saw myself unbreeched in my green velvet coat, my dagger muzzled lest it should bite its master. How like methought I then was to this colonel, this squash, this gentleman, mine honest friend. Will you take eggs for money?
No, my lord, I'll fight.
You will? Why, happy man, be still.
I am like you, they say.
Why, that's some comfort. My brother, are you so fond of your young prince as we do seem to be of ours?
If at home, sir, he's all my exercise, my mirth, my matter, now my sworn friend, and then mine enemy, my parasite, my soldier, statesman, all.
So stands this squire officed with me. We two will walk, my lord. Hermione, how thou lovest us, show in our brother's welcome. Let what is dear in our home be cheap. Next to thyself and my young rover, he's a parent to my heart.
If you would seek us, we are yours in the garden. Shall I attend you there?
To your bents dispose you. You'll be found, be you beneath the sky. I am angling now, though you perceive me not how I give line. Go to, go to. Gone already, inch thick, knee deep, or head and ears a forked one. There have been, or I am much deceived, cuckolds ere now. And many a man there is, even at this present now, while I speak this, holds his wife by the arm, that little thinks she has been sluiced in his absence, and his pond fished by his next neighbor. It is a bawdy planet. What, Camillo there?
Aye, my good lord.
Camillo, this great sir will yet stay longer.
Oh, you had much ado to make his anchor hold. When you cast out, it still came home.
Didst note it?
He would not stay at your petitions, made his business more material.
Didst perceive it? They're here with me already, whispering, rounding. This poor sir is so forth. How came it, Camillo, that he did stay?
What, the good lady's entreaty?
At the ladies be it. Good should be pertinent, but so it is not. Was this taken by any understanding pate but thine? For thy conceit is soaking, will draw in more than common blocks. Not noted is it, but of the finer natures, by some severals of headpiece extraordinary, lower messes perchance, or to this business purblind, say?
Business, my lord. I think most understand your best brother stays here longer. Stays here longer.
But why?
To satisfy your desires and the entreaties of our most gracious mistress.
Satisfy the entreaties of your mistress. Satisfy. Let that suffice. I have trusted thee, Camillo, with all the nearest things to my heart, but we have been deceived in integrity.
Be it forbid, my lord.
To bide upon it. Thou art not honest, or if thou inclinest that way, thou art a coward, which hawkses honesty behind, restraining from course required, or else a fool that seest a game played home, the rich stake drawn, and takes it all for jest.
My gracious lord, I may be negligent, foolish, and fearful, but in your affairs, most gracious sir, if ever I were willful negligent, it was my folly. If industriously I played the fool, it was my negligence. If ever fearful to do a thing where the issue doubted, 'twas a fear which oft infects the wisest. I beseech you, be plainer with me, and let me know my trespass by its own visage. If I then deny it, 'tis none of mine.
Have not you seen, Camillo? But that's passed out. You have, or your eyeglass is thicker than a cuckold's horn, or heard, for to a vision so apparent, rumor cannot be mute, or thought, for cogitation resides not in that man that does not think. My wife is slippery. If thou wilt confess, or else be impudently negative to have not eyes, nor ears, nor thought, then say, my wife's a hobby horse, deserves a name as rank as any flax wench that puts two before her troth's plight. Say it, and justify it.
Oh, I would not be a stander by to hear my sovereign mistress clouded so without my present vengeance taken. Through my heart, you never spoke what did become you less than this, which to reiterate were sin as deep as that, though true.
Is whispering nothing? Is leaning cheek to cheek? Is meeting noses, kissing with inside lip, stopping the career of laughter with a sigh, and all eyes blind with the pin and web but theirs only that would unseen be wicked? Is this nothing? Why then the world and all that's in it is nothing. The covering sky is nothing, this land nothing, my wife nothing, nor nothing have these nothings, if this be nothing.
Could my lord be cured of this diseased opinion and betimes, for 'tis most dangerous.
Say it be, 'tis true.
No, my lord.
It is. You lie. You lie. I say thou liest, Camillo, and I hate thee, pronounce thee a gross lout, a mindless slave, or else a hovering temporizer that canst with thine eyes at once see good and evil inclining to them both. Were my wife's liver infected as her life, she would not live the running of one glass.
Who does infect her?
Why, he that wears her like a medal hanging about his neck, my own friend, who if I had servants true about me, would do that which should undo more doing. Aye, and thou, his cupbearer, mightst despice a cup to give mine enemy a lasting wink, which draught to me were cordial.
Sir, my lord, I could do this, and that with no rash poison, but with a lingering dram that should not work maliciously like poison. But I cannot believe this crack to be in my dread mistress, so sovereignly being honorable. I have loved thee.
Make that thy question, and go rot. Just think I am so muddied, so unsettled, to appoint myself in this vexation, sully the purity and the whiteness of my sheets, give scandal to the blood of the prince, my son, who I do think is mine and love as mine, without ripe moving to it? Would I do this? Could man so blench?
I must believe you, sir. I do, and will fetch off our guest for it, provided that when he's removed, your highness will take again your queen as yours at first, even for your son's sake, and thereby foresealing the injury of tongues and courts and kingdoms known and allied to yours.
Thou dost advise me, even so as I mine own course have set down. I'll give no blemish to her honor, none.
My lord, go then, and with countenance as clear as friendship wears fast, keep with the villain and with your queen. I am his cupbearer. It from me he have wholesome beverage. Account me not your servant.
This is all. Do it, and thou hast the one half of my heart. Do it not, thou splittest thine own.
I'll do it, my lord.
I will seem friendly, as thou hast advised me.
Oh, miserable lady! But for me, what case stand I in? I must be the poisoner of good Polixenes, and my ground to do it is the obedience to a master, one who in rebellion with himself will have all that are his so too. To do this deed, promotion follows. If I could find example of thousands that had struck anointed kings and flourished after, I'd not do it. But since nor brass, nor stone, nor parchment bears not one, let villainy itself forswear it. I must forsake the court. To do it or no is certain to me a breakneck.
Good day, Camillo.
Hail, most royal sir.
What is the news of the court?
None rare, my lord.
The king hath on him such a countenance as he had lost some province and a region loved as he loves himself. Even now I met him with customary compliment when he, wafting his eyes to the contrary, falling a lip of much contempt, speeds from me, and so leaves me to consider what is breeding that changes thus his manners.
I dare not know, sir.
How dare not? Do not? Do you know and dare not? Be intelligent to me, good Camillo. Your changed complexions are to me a mirror which shows me mine changed too. For I must be a party in this alteration, finding myself thus altered with it.
There is a sickness which puts some of us in distemper, but I cannot name the disease, and it is caught of you that yet you are well.
How caught of me? A sickness caught of me, and yet I well? I must be answered. Dost thou hear, Camillo?
I am appointed to murder you.
By whom, Camillo?
Leontes.
For what?
He thinks, nay, with all the confidence he swears, as he had seen it or been an instrument to vice you to it, that you have touched his queen forbiddenly.
Then my best blood turn to an infected jelly, and my name be yoked with his that did betray the best. How did this grow?
I know not, but I am sure 'tis safer to avoid what's grown than question how 'tis born. If therefore you dare trust my honesty that lies enclosed in this trunk which you shall bear along and pawn away tonight, your followers I will whisper the business, and will by twos and threes several posterns clear them of the city. For myself, I'll put my fortunes in your service.
I do believe thee. I saw his heart in his face. My ships are ready, and my people did expect my hence departure 2 days ago. This jealousy is for a precious creature. As she's rare, must it be great, and as his person's mighty, must it be violent. Fear o'ershades me. Good expedition be my friend, and comfort the gracious queen. Come, Camillo. I will respect thee as a father if thou bearest my life off hence. Let us avoid.
Please you to take the urgent hour. Come, sir, away.
Oh, take the boy to you. He so troubles me, 'tis past enduring.
Come, my gracious lord, shall I be your playfellow?
No, I'll none of you.
Why, my sweet lord?
You'll kiss me hard and speak to me as if I were a baby still. I love you better.
And why so, my lord?
Not because your brows are blacker. Yet black brows, they say, become someone in best, so that there not be too much hair there, but in a semicircle or a half moon made with a pen.
Who taught this?
I learned it out of women's faces. Pray now, what color are your eyebrows?
Blue, my lord.
Nay, that's a mock. I have seen a lady's nose that has been blue, but not her eyebrows.
What wisdom stirs amongst you? Come, sir, now I am for you again. Pray sit by us and tell us a tale.
Merry or sad shall it be?
As merry as you will.
A sad tale's best for winter. I know one of sprites and goblins.
Let's have that, good sir. Come on, sit down. Come on and do your best to frighten me with your sprites. You're powerful at it.
There was a man dwelt by a churchyard. I will tell you softly, yon cricket shalt not hear it.
Come on then, and give it to me in mine ear.
Give me the boy. I am glad you did not nurse him. Though he does bear some signs of me, yet you have too much blood in him.
What is this sport?
Bear the boy hence. He shall not come about her. Away with him, and let her sport herself with that she's big with. For 'tis Polixenes has made thee swell thus.
But I'd say he had not, and I'll be sworn you would believe my saying, howe'er you lean the nay word.
You, my lords, look on her, mark her well, but be about to say she is a goodly lady, and the justice of your hearts will thereto add, 'tis pity she's not honest, honorable. When you have said she's goodly, come between ere you can say she's honest, but be it known from him that has most cause to grief, it should be, she's an adulteress.
Should a villain say so, the most replenished villain in the world, he were a much more villain. You, my lord, do but mistake.
You have mistook my lady Polixenes for Leontes. I have said she's an adulteress. I have said with whom? More, she's a traitor, and Camillo is a federary with her, and one that knows what she should shame to know herself.
Polixenes was met there, Camillo with him. Behind the tuft of pines I saw them. Never saw I men scour so on their way. I eyed them even to their ships.
How blessed am I in my just censure, in my true opinion. Alack, for lesser knowledge, how accursed in being so blessed. There may be in the cup a spider steeped, and one may drink, depart, and yet partake no venom, for his knowledge is not infected. But if one present the abhorred ingredient to his eye, make known how he hath drunk, he cracks his gorge, his sighs with violent hefts. I have drunk and seen the spider. Camillo was his help in this, his pander. There is a plot against my life, my crown. All's true that is mistrusted. That my wife's a bed swerver, even as bad as those that vulgars give bold titles. Aye, and privy to this their late escape.
No, by my life, privy to none of this. How will this grieve you when you shall come to clearer knowledge that you have thus published me? Gentle my lord, you scarce can write me thoroughly than to say you did the mistake.
No. If I mistake in those foundations which I build upon, the center is not big enough to bear a schoolboy's top. Away with her to prison. He who shall speak for her is a far off guilty, but that he speaks.
There's some ill planet reigns. I must be patient till the heavens look with an aspect more favorable. Good, my lords. I am not prone to weeping as our sex commonly are, the want of which vain dew perchance shall dry your pities. But I have the honorable grief lodged here, which burns worse than tears drown. Beseech you all, my lords, with thoughts so qualified as your charity shall best instruct you. Measure me, and so the king's will be performed.
Shall I be heard?
Who is it that goes with me? Beseech your highness, my women may be with me, for you see my plight requires it. Do not weep, good fools, there is no cause. When you shall know your mistress has deserved prison, then about in tears as I come out. This action I go on now is for my better graces. Adieu, my love. I never wish to see you sorry, now I trust I shall.
Go. Do our bidding. Hence.
Beseech your highness, call the queen again.
Be certain what you do, sir, lest your justice prove violent, in the which 3 great ones suffer, yourself, your wife, your son.
For her, my lord, I dare my life lay down, and will do it, sir. Please you to accept it, that the lady is spotless to the eyes of heaven, and to you, I mean, in this which you accuse her.
If it proves she's otherwise, I'll keep my stables where I lodge my wife. I'll go in couples with her, that when I feel and see her, no farther trust her. For every inch of woman in the world, aye, every dram of woman's flesh is false if she be.
Hold your pieces.
Good my lord, please.
It is for you we speak, not for ourselves. You are abused, and by some putter on that will be damned for it.
Cease. No more. You smell this business with a sense as cold as a dead man's nose. But I do see it and feel it as you feel, doing thus, and see with all the instruments that feel.
If it be so, we need no grave to bury honesty. There's not a grain of it in the face to sweeten the whole dungy earth.
What, lack I credit?
I had rather you did lack than I, my lord. Upon this ground, and more it would contempt me to have her honor true than your suspicion. Be blamed for it how you might.
Why, what need we commune with you of this, but rather follow our forceful instigation? Inform yourselves. I need no more of your advice. The matter, the loss, the gain, the ordering on it is all properly ours.
And I wish, my liege, you had only in your silent judgment tired it without more overture.
How could that be? Either thou art most ignorant by age, or thou wert born a fool. Camillo's flight, added to their familiarity, doth push on this proceeding. Yet, for greater confirmation, for in an act of this importance, 'twere most piteous to be wild. I have dispatched in post to sacred Delphos, to Apollo's temple Cleomenes, whom you know well to be of stuffed sufficiency. Now from the oracle he will bring all, whose spiritual counsel had, shall stop or spur me. Have I done well?
Well done, my lord.
Though I am satisfied, and need no more than what I know, yet shall the oracle give rest to the minds of others. Come, we are to speak in public, for this business will raise us all.
To laughter, as I take it, the good truth were known.
The keeper of the prison, call to him. Let him have knowledge who I am. Now, good sir, you know me, do you not?
For a worthy lady, and one who I honor.
Pray you then conduct me to the lady.
I may not, madam. I have express commandment.
Here's a Jew, to lock up honesty and honor from the access of gentle visitors. Is it lawful, pray you, to see her women, any of them? Emilia.
So please you, madam, to put apart these your attendants, I shall bring Emilia forth.
I pray now, call her.
And, madam, I must be present at your conference.
Well, be it so, prithee. Here's such ado to make no stain a stain that passes coloring. Dear gentlewoman, how fares our gracious lady?
As well as one so great and so forlorn may hold together.
On her frights and griefs, which never tender lady hath borne greater, she is something before her time delivered.
A boy?
A daughter, a goodly babe, lusty, and like to live. The queen takes much comfort in it, says, my poor prisoner, I am innocent as you.
I dare be sworn. These dangerous, unsafe loons of the king, beshrew them. He must be told on it, and he shall. The office becomes a woman best. I'll take it upon me. I prove honey mouthed, let my tongue blister, and never to my red-looked anger be the trumpet any more. Pray you, Amelia, commend my best to the queen. If she dares trust me with her little babe, I'll show it to the king, and undertake to be her advocate of the loudest. We do not know how he may soften at the sight of the child. The silence often of pure innocence persuades when speaking fails.
Most worthy madam, your honor and goodness is so evident that your free undertaking cannot miss a thriving issue. There is no lady living so meet for this great errand. Please your ladyship to visit the next room. I'll presently acquaint the queen of your most noble offer. Who but today hammered of this design, but durst not tempt a minister of honor, lest she should be denied. I'll to the queen.
Madam, if it please the queen to send the babe, I know not what I shall incur to pass it, having no warrant.
You need not fear it, sir. This child was prisoner of the womb, and is by law and process of great nature thence freed and enfranchised, not a party to the anger of the king, nor guilty of, if any be, the trespass of the queen.
I do believe it.
Do not you fear. Upon mine honor, I will stand betwixt you and your danger.
Nor night nor day, no rest. It is but weakness to bear the matter thus, mere weakness. If the cause were not in being, part of the cause. She, the adulteress for the harlot king, is quite beyond mine arm, out of the blank and level of my brain. Plot proof. But she I could hook to me. Oh, say that she were gone, given to the fire. A moiety of my rest might come to me again.
My lord.
How does the boy?
He took good rest tonight. 'Tis hoped his sickness is discharged.
Oh, to see his nobleness. Conceiving the dishonor of his mother, he straight declined, drooped, took it deeply, fastened and fixed the shame on it in himself. Threw off his spirit, his appetite, his sleep, downright languished. Leave me solely, go see how he fares. Fie. No thought on him. The very thought of my revenge is that way recoil upon me. In himself too mighty, and in his parties, his alliance, let him be until a time may serve. For present vengeance, take it on her. Camillo and Polixenes laugh at me, make their pastime at my sorrow. They should not laugh if I could reach them, nor shall she within my power. You must not enter.
Nay, rather good my lord be second to me. Fear we this tyrannous passion more, alas, than the queen's life?
That's enough.
Oh, not so hot. I come to bring him sleep. So such as you that creep like shadows by him and do sign at each his needless heavings, such as you nourish the cause of his awaking, I do come with words as medicinal as true, honest as either, to purge him of that humor that presses him from sleep.
What noise there?
No noise, my lord. Needful conference about some gossips for your highness.
Away with this audacious lady. Antigonus, I charged thee that she should not come about me. I knew she would.
I told her so, my lord. She should not visit you.
What, canst not rule her?
You shall not rule me.
Lord, you hear? When she will take the rein, I let her run, but she'll not stumble.
Good, my liege, I come, and I beseech you hear me. I say I come from your good queen.
Good queen?
Good queen, my lord, good queen. I say good queen, and would by combat make her good, so were I a man. The worst about you.
Force her hence.
Let him that makes but trifles of his eyes first hand me. On mine own accord I'll off, but first I'll do my errand. The good queen, for she is good, hath brought you forth a daughter. Here 'tis. Commend it to your blessing.
Out, a mankind witch, hence with her out a door, a most intelligencing bawd.
Not so. I am as ignorant in that as you, and so entitling me, and no less honest than you are mad, which is enough, I'll warrant, as this world goes to pass for honest.
Traitors, will you not push her out? Give her the bastard, thou dotard. Thou art woman tired, unroosted by thy dame Bartlett here. Take up the bastard, take it up, I say. Give it to thy crone.
Forever unvenerable be thy hands, if thou takest up the princess by that forced baseness which he hath put upon it.
He dreads his wife.
So I would you did. Since for past all doubt you'd call your children yours.
A nest of traitors.
I am none by this good light.
Nor I, nor any but one that's here, and that's himself. For he, the sacred honor of himself, his queens, his hopeful sons, his babes, betrays to slander, whose sting is sharper than the sword.
A callet of boundless tongue, who late hath beat her husband, now baits me. This brat is none of mine. It is the issue of Polixenes, hence with it. And together with the dam, commit them to the fire.
It is yours. And might we lay the old proverb to your charge, so like you 'tis the worst. Behold, my friends, although the print be little, the whole matter and copy of the father. Eye, nose, lip, the trick of his frown, his forehead, nay, the valley, the pretty dimples of his chin and cheek, the smiles, the very mold and frame of hand, nail, finger, and now, good goddess nature, which hath made it so like to him that got it, if thou hast the ordering of the mind too, amongst all colors, no yellow in it, lest she suspect, as he does, her children, not her husband's.
A gross hag. And Losel, thou art worthy to be hanged, that wilt not stay her tongue.
Hang all the husbands that cannot do that feat. You'll leave yourself hardly one subject.
Once more, take her hence.
Most unworthy and unnatural lord can do no more.
I'll have thee burned.
I care not. It is an heretic that makes the fire, not she which burns in it. I'll not call you tyrant, but this most cruel usage of your queen, not able to produce more accusation than your own weak-hinged fancy, something savors of tyranny, and will ignoble make you, yea, scandalous to the world.
On your allegiance, out of the chamber with her. Were I a tyrant, where were her life? She durst not call me so if she did know me one. Away with her.
I pray you, do not push me. I'll be gone. Look to your babe, my lord, 'tis yours. Jove, send her a better guiding spirit. What needs these hands? You that are thus so tender, or his follies will never do him good, not one of you. So farewell. We are gone.
Thou, traitor, hast set on thy wife to this. My child, away with it. Even thou that hast a heart so tender o'er it, take it hence, and see it instantly consumed with fire. Within this hour bring me word 'tis done, and by good testimony, or I'll seize thy life with what thou else call'st thine. If thou refuse, and wilt encounter with my wrath, say so. The bastard brains with these my proper hand shall I dash out. Go, take it to the fire, for thou set'st on thy wife.
I did not, sir. This lord, my noble fellow, if you please, can clear me in it.
I can, my royal liege. He's not guilty of her coming hither.
You're liars all.
Beseech your highness, give us better credit. We have always truly served you, and beseech so to esteem of us. We all kneel.
I am a feather for each wind that blows. Shall I live on to see this bastard kneel and call me father? Better burn it now than curse it then. You, sir, come you hither. You that had been so tenderly officious with Lady Marjorie, your midwife there, to save this bastard's life. For 'tis a bastard so sure as this beard's grey. What will you adventure to save this brat's life?
Anything, my lord, that my ability may undergo and nobleness impose, anything possible.
It shall be possible. Swear by this sword thou wilt perform my bidding.
I will, my lord.
Mark, and perform it, seest thou? For the fail of any point in it shall not only be death to thyself, but to thy lewd-tongued wife, whom for this time we pardon. We enjoin thee, as thou art liegeman to us, that thou carry this female bastard hence, and that thou bury it to some remote and desert place quite out of our dominions, and that there thou leave it without more mercy to its own protection and favor of the climate. As by strange fortune it came to us, I do in justice charge thee on thy soul's peril and thy body's torture, that thou commend it strangely to some place where chance may nurse or end it. Take it up.
I swear to do this, though a present death had been more merciful. Come on. Or, babe, some powerful spirit instruct the kites and ravens to be thy nurses. Wolves and bears, they say, casting their savageness aside, have done like offices to pity. Sir, be prosperous in more than this deed does require. In blessing against this cruelty, fight on thy side. Poor thing, condemned to loss.
Please you, sir, posts from those who sent to the oracle are come an hour since. Cleomenes is yonder, being well arrived from Delphos, will be hasting to the court.
So please you, sir, his speed hath been beyond account.
23 days he has been absent. 'Tis good speed, foretells the great Apollo suddenly will have the truth of this appear. Prepare you, lords. Summon a session, that we may arraign our most disloyal lady, for as she hath been publicly accused, so shall she have a just and open trial. While she lives, my heart will be a burden to me. Leave me, and think upon my bidding. This sessions, to our great grief do we pronounce, even pushes against our heart. The party tried the daughter of a king, our wife, and one of us too much beloved. Let us be cleared of being tyrannous, since we so openly proceed in justice, which shall have due course even to the guilt or the purgation. Produce the prisoner.
It is His Highness's pleasure that the Queen appear in person here in the court.
Read the indictment.
Hermione, Queen to the worthy Leontes, King of Sicilia, thou art here accused and arraigned of high treason in committing adultery with Polixenes, King of Bohemia, and conspiring with Camillo to take away the life of our sovereign lord the king, thy royal husband, the pretense whereof, being by circumstances partly laid open, thou, Hermione, contrary to the faith and allegiance of a true subject, didst counsel and aid them for their better safety to fly away by night.
Since what I am about to say must be that which contradicts my accusation and the testimony on my part no other, but what comes from myself, it shall scarce boot me to say not guilty. Mine integrity being counted falsehood shall, as I express it, be so received. But thus, if powers divine behold our human actions as they do, I doubt not then, but innocence shall make false accusation blush and tyranny tremble at patience. You, my lord, best know whom least will seem to do so. My past life hath been as continent, as chaste, as true as I am no unhappy. which is more than history can pattern, though devised and played to take spectators. For behold me, a fellow of the royal bed, which owe a moiety of the throne, a great king's daughter, the mother to a hopeful prince, here standing to prad and talk for life and honor, for who pleased to come and hear? For life I prize it as I weigh grief, which I would spare. For honor, 'tis a derivative from me to mine, and only that I stand for. I appeal to your own conscience, sir. Before Polixenes came to your court, how I was in your grace. How merited to be so since he came, with what encounter so incurrent I have strained appear thus, if one jot beyond the bound of honor, or an act or will, that way inclining. Hardened be the hearts of all that hear me, and my nearest of kin cry fie upon my grave.
I ne'er heard yet that any of these bolder vices wanted less impudence to gainsay what they did than to perform it first.
That's true enough, though 'tis a saying, sir, not due to me.
You will not own it.
More than mistress of which comes to me in name of fault, I must not at all acknowledge. For Polixenes, with whom I am accused, I do confess I loved him as in honor he required, with such a kind of love as might become a lady like me. With a love even such so and no other as yourself commanded, which not to have done I think had been in me both disobedience and ingratitude to you and toward your friend, whose love you had spoke ever since it could speak, from an infant freely that it was yours. Now, for conspiracy, I know not how it tastes, though it be dished for me to try how. All I know of it is that Camillo was an honest man, and why he left your court, the gods themselves, wanting no more than I, are ignorant.
You knew of his departure, as you know what you have undertaken to do in his absence.
Sir, you speak a language that I understand not. My life stands in the level of your dreams, which I'll lay down.
Your actions are my dreams. You had a bastard by Polixenes, and I but dreamed it. As you were past all shame, those of your fact are so past all truth, which to deny concerns more than avails. For as thy brat has been cast out, like to itself, no father owning, which indeed is more criminal in thee than it, so thou shalt feel our justice, in whose easiest passage look for no less than death.
Sir, spare your threats. The bug which you would fright me with, I seek. To me can life be no commodity. The crown and comfort of my life, your favor, I do give loss, for I do feel it gone, but know not how it went. My second joy and first fruits of my body from his presence, I am barred like one infectious. My third comfort, starved most unluckily, is from my breast the innocent milk, and at most innocent mouth, hailed out to murder. Myself on every post proclaimed a strumpet, with immodest hatred, the child-bed privilege denied, which belongs to woman of all fashion. Lastly, hurry to this place I open air before I have got strength of limit. Now, my liege, tell me what blessings I have here alive that I should fear to die. Therefore, proceed. But yet here, this mistake me not, no life, I praise it, not a straw, but for mine honor, which I would free, if I shall be contemned upon surmises, all proof sleeping else. But what your jealousies awake, I tell you, 'tis rigor and not law. Your honors all, I do refer be to the oracle. Apollo be my judge.
This your request is altogether just. Therefore bring forth, and in Apollo's name, his oracle.
The Emperor of Russia was my father. Oh, that he was alive and here beholding his daughter's trial, that he did but see the flatness of my misery, yet with eyes of pity, not revenge.
You here shall swear on your life for justice that you, Cleomenes, loyal to the crown, have been at Delphos, and from thence have brought this sealed up oracle by the hand delivered of great Apollo's priest, and that since then you have not dared to break the holy seal, nor read the secret int.
All this I swear.
Break up the seals and read.
Hermione is chaste, Polixenes blameless, Camillo a true subject, Leontes a jealous tyrant, his innocent babe truly begotten, and the king shall live without an heir if that which is lost not to be found.
Blessed
Praise
be the
the
great
gods.
Praised,
Thank
praised.
you.
Praise Apollo.
Hast thou read the truth?
Aye, my lord.
Even so, it is here set down.
There is no truth at all in the oracle.
But
The
my lord,
sessions
Oh, my
are
lord.
mysterious.
Say such a thing.
Is mere
You need to make
falsehood.
The king, the king!
What is this business?
Oh, sir, I shall be hated to report it. The prince, your son, with mere conceit and fear of the queen's speed, is gone.
How gone?
He's dead.
Apollo's angry, and the heavens themselves do strike at my injustice. Oh, now there.
This news is mortal to the queen. Look down and see what death is doing.
Take her hence. Her heart is but o'ercharged. She will recover. I have too much believed my own suspicion. Beseech you, tenderly apply to her some remedies for life. Apollo, pardon my great profaneness against thine oracle. I'll reconcile me with Polixenes. You woo my queen. Recall the good Camillo, whom I proclaim a man of truth, of mercy, for being transported by my jealousies to bloody thoughts and to revenge. I chose Camillo for the minister to poison my friend Polixenes, which had been done, but that the good mind of Camillo tarded my swift command, though I with death and with reward do threaten and encourage him, not doing it and being done. How he glisters through my rust, and how his piety does my deeds make the blacker.
Oh, the while. Oh, cut my lace, lest my heart cracking it break too.
What fit is this, good lady?
What studied torments tyrant has for me? What wheels, racks, fires, what flaying, boiling in leads or oils? What old or newer tortures must I receive, whose every word deserves to taste of thy most worst? Thy tyranny, together working with thy jealousies, that thou betrayest Polixenes, 'twas nothing. That thou wouldst poison good Camillo's honor, to have him kill a king. Poor trespasses, more monstrous standing by, whereof I reckon the casting forth to crows thy baby daughter, to be none or little, though a devil would have shed water out of fire ere done it. Nor is it directly laid to thee the death of the young prince, whose honorable thoughts blemished his gracious dam. This is not no laid to thy answer. But the last, oh Lord, when I have said cry woe, the queen, the sweetest, dearest creature's dead, and vengeance for it not dropped down yet.
The higher powers forbid.
I say she's dead. I'll swear it. If word nor oath prevail, not go and see. If he can bring tincture or luster to her lip or eye, heat outwardly her breath within, I'll serve you, as I would do the gods. But oh, thou tyrant! Do not repent these things, for they are heavier than all thy woes could stir. Therefore betake thee to nothing but despair. 1,000 knees and 1,000 years together, naked fasting upon a barren mountain, and still winter in storm perpetual could not move the gods to look that way thou wert.
Go on. Thou canst not speak too much. I have deserved all tongues to talk their bitterest.
Say no more. However the business goes, you have made fault with the boldness of your speech.
I am sorry for it. All faults I make, when I shall come to know them, I will repent. Alas, have I showed too much the rashness of a woman? Is he touched to the noble heart? What's gone and what's past health should be past grief. Do not receive affliction at my petition. I beseech you rather let me be punished, that have minded you of what you should forget. Now, good my liege, sir, royal sir, forgive a foolish woman the love I bore your queen. Lo, fool again. I'll speak of her no more, nor of your children. I'll not remember you of my own lord who is lost too. Take your patience to you, and I'll say nothing.
Thou didst speak but well, one most of the truth, which I receive much better than to be pitied of thee. Prithee, bring me to the dead bodies of my queen and son. One grave shall be for both. Upon them all shall the causes of their death appear, unto our shame perpetual. Once a day I'll visit the chapel where they lie, and tears shed there shall be my recreation. So long as nature will bear up with this exercise, so long I daily vow to use it. Come and lead me to these sorrows.
Thou art perfect then? Our ship hath touched upon the deserts of Bohemia?
Aye, my lord, and fear we have landed in ill time. Skies look grimly and threaten present blusters. In my conscience, the heavens with that we have in hand are angry and frown upon us.
Their sacred wills be done. Go, get aboard, look to thy bark. I'll not be long before I'll call upon thee.
Make your best haste and go not too far in the land. 'Tis like to be loud weather. Besides, this place is famous for the creatures of prey that keep upon it.
Go thou away. I'll follow instantly.
I am glad at heart to be so rid of the business.
Come, poor babe. I have heard but not believed the spirits of the dead may walk again. Such thing be, thy mother appeared to me last night, for ne'er was dream so like a waking. To me comes a creature, sometimes her head on one side, some another. I never saw a vessel of like sorrow so filled and so becoming. In pure white robes, like very sanctity, she did approach my cabin where I lay. Thrice bowed before me, and gasping to begin some speech, her eyes became two spouts. The fury spent, anon did this break from her. Good Antigonus, since fate against thy better disposition hath made thy person for the thrower out of my poor babe, according of thine oath, places remote enough are in Bohemia. There weep and leave it crying, and for the babe is counted lost forever. Perdita, I prithee call it, for this ungentle business put on thee by my lord, thou ne'er shalt see thy wife Paulina more. And so with shrieks she melted into air. Affrighted much, I did in time collect myself, and thought this was so and no slumber. Dreams are toys, yet for this once, yea, superstitiously I will be squared by this. I do believe Hermione hath suffered death, and that Apollo would, this indeed being the issue of King Polixenes, it should here be laid, either for life of death upon the earth of its right father. Blossom, speed thee well. There thou lie, and there thy character. There these, which may, if fortune please, both breed thee pretty and still rest thine. The storm begins. Poor wretch, that for thy mother's fault are thus exposed to loss and what may follow. Grieve I cannot. My heart bleeds, and most accursed am I to be by oath enjoined to this. Farewell. The day frowns more and more. Thou art like to have a lullaby too rough. I never saw the heavens so dim by day. Savage clamor. Oh, may I get abroad? This is the chase. I am gone forever.
I would there were no age between 10 and 3 and 20, or that youth would sleep out of the rest, for there is nothing in between but getting wenches with child, wronging the ancient tree, stealing, fighting. Hark you now. Would any but these boiled brains of 19 and 2 and 20 hunt this weather? They have scared away 2 of my best sheep, which I fear the wolf will sooner find than the master. If anywhere, I have them teased by the seaside, browsing of ivy. Good luck, and be thy will. What have we here? Mercy's on. A bairn? 'Tis a bairn. A boy or a child, I wonder. A pretty one, a very pretty one. Sure some scape. Though I am not bookish, yet I can read waiting, gentle woman in the scape. This has been some stair work, some trunk work, some behind door work. They were warmer than got this, than the poor thing is here. I'll take it for pity, yet I'll tarry till my son come. He hallowed, but even now, well.
Hello, hello!
What are so near, if thou wilt see a thing to talk on when thou art dead and rotten? Come hither. Why else, thou man?
I have seen 2 such sights, by sea and by land. But I am not to say it is a sea, for it is now the sky. Betwixt the firmament and it, you cannot thrust a bodkin's point.
Why, boy? How is it?
I would you did but see how it chafes, how it rages, how it takes up the shore. But that's not the point. Oh, the most piteous cries of the poor souls, sometimes to see him and not to see him. Now the ship, boring, the moon with her mainmast, and anon swallowed with yeast and froth as you thrust a cork into a hogshead. And then for the land service, to see how the bear tore out his shoulder bone, how he cried for help and said his name was Antagonist, a nobleman. But to make an end of the ship, to see how the sea flap dragoned it. First, how the poor souls roared, and the sea mocked them, and how the poor gentleman roared, and the bear mocked him, both roaring louder than the sea or weather.
In the name of mercy, when was this, boy?
Oh, now I have not winked since I saw these sights. The men are not yet cooled under water, nor the bear have dined on the gentleman. He's at it now.
Would I have been by to help the old man?
I would you had been by the ship's side to have helped her.
Heavy matters. Heavy matters. But look thee here, boy. Now bless thyself. Thou metst with things dying, I with things newborn. Here's a sight for thee. Look thee. A bearing cloth for a squire's child. Look thee here. Take up, boy. Open it. So let's see. I was told me I should be reached by the fairies. This is some changeling. Open it. What's within it, boy?
You're a maid old woman. If the sins of your youth are forgiven you, you're well to live. Gold, all gold.
This is fairies' gold, my boy, and it will prove so. Up with it, keep it close. Home the next way. We are lucky, boy, and to be so still requires nothing but secrecy. I'll let my sheep go. Come, good boy, the next way home.
Go you the next way with your findings. I'll go see if the bear be gone from the gentleman and how much he hath eaten. If there be any of him left, I'll bury it.
That's a good deed. If thou mayest discern by that which is left of him what he is, fetch me to the sight of him.
Marry will I, and you shall help to put him in the ground.
'Tis a lucky day, boy, and we'll do good deeds on it.
I, that please some, try all, both joy and terror of good and bad, that makes and unfolds error. Now take upon me, in the name of time, to use my wings. Impute it not a crime to me or my swift passage, that I slide over 16 years, and leave the growth untried of that wide gap, since it is in my power to overthrow law, and in one self-born hour to plant and overwhelm custom. Let me pass the same I am ere ancient's order was, or what is now received. I witness to the times that brought them in. So shall I do to the freshest things now reigning, and make stale the glistering of this present, as my tale now seems to it. Your patience this allowing, I turn my glass, and give my scene such growing as you had slept between. Leontes, leaving, the effects of his fond jealousy so grieving that he shuts up himself. Imagine me, gentle spectators, that I now may be in fair Bohemia. And remember well I mentioned a son of the king's, which Florizel I now name to you, with speed so pace to speak of Perdita, now grown in grace, equal with wondering. What of her ensues, I list not prophecy, but let time's news be known when 'tis brought forth. A shepherd's daughter, and what to her adheres, which follows after is the argument of time. Of this allow, if ever you have spent time worse ere now. If never, yet the time himself does say, he wishes earnestly you never may.
I pray thee, good Camilla, be no more importunate. It is a sickness denying thee anything, a death to grant this.
It is 15 years since I saw my country. Though I have for the most part been aired abroad, I desire to lay my bones there. Besides, the penitent king my master hath sent for me, to whose feeling sorrows I might be some allay, why or seem to think so, which is another spur to my departure.
As thou lovest me, Camilla, wipe not out the rest of thy services by leaving me now. Of that fatal country, Cecilia, prithee, speak no more, whose very naming punishes me with the remembrance of that penitent, as thou callest him, and reconciled king, my brother, whose loss of his most precious queen and children are even now to be afresh lamented. Say to me, when sawest thou the Prince Florizel, my son?
Sir, it is 3 days since I saw the prince. What his happier affairs may be are to me unknown, but I have missingly noted he is of late much retired from court, and is less frequent to his princely exercises than formerly he hath appeared.
I have considered so much, Camilla, and with some care, so far that I have eyes under my service which look upon his removedness, from whom I have this intelligence. He is seldom from the house of a most homely shepherd, a woman, they say, that is from very nothing and beyond the imagination of her neighbors, is grown into an unspeakable estate.
I have heard, sir, of such a woman who hath a daughter of most rare note. The rapport of her is extended more than can be thought to begin from such a cottage.
That's likewise part of my intelligence, but I fear the angle that plucks our son thither. Thou shalt accompany us to the place, where we will, not appearing what we are, have some question with the shepherd, from whose simplicity I think it not uneasy to get the cause of my son's resort thither. Prithee, be my present partner in this business, and lay aside the thoughts of Cecilia.
I willingly obey your command.
My best Camillo, we must disguise ourselves.
When daffodils begin to peer, with high the doxy over the dale, why then comes in the sweet o' the year, for the red blood reigns in the winter's pale. The white sheet bleaching on the hedge, with high the sweet birds, oh how they sing, doth set my pugging tooth and edge, for a quart of ale is a dish for a king. I have served Prince Florissel, and in my time wore 3 pile. But now I am out of service. But shall I mourn for that, my dear? The pale moon shines by night, and when I wander here and there, I then do most go right. My traffic is in sheets. When the kite builds, look to lesser linen. My father named me Autolycus, who, being as I am, littered under Mercury, was likewise a snapper-up of unconsidered trifles. With dye and drab I purchased this capricion, and my revenue is silly cheat. Gallows and knock are too powerful on the highway. Beating and hanging are terrors to me. For the life to come, I sleep out of the thought of it. A prize, a prize.
Let me see. Every 11 weather tods, every tod yields pound and odd shilling, 1,500 shorn. What comes the wool to?
If the spring hold the cock's mine.
I cannot do without counters. Let me see. What am I to buy for our sheep shearing feast? 3 pounds of sugar, 5 pounds of currants, rice. What will this sister of mine do with rice? But my father hath made her mistress of the feast, and she lays it on. She hath made me 24 nosegays for the shearers, 3 man-song-men all, and very good ones. But they are most of them means and bases. The one Puritan amongst them, and he sings psalms to hornpipes. I must saffron to color the warden pies, mace, dates. None! That's out of my note. Nutmegs, 7, a race or 2 of ginger, but that I may beg for. 4 pounds of prunes, and as many raisins of the sun.
Oh, never I was born.
In the name of me.
Oh, help me, help me. Pluck but off these rags, and then death, death.
Alack, poor soul, thou hast need of more rags to lay on thee rather than have these off.
Oh, sir, the loathsomeness of them offends me more than the stripes I have received, which are mighty ones and millions.
Alas, poor lady, 1,000,000 of beating may come to a great matter.
I am robbed, sir, and beaten, my money and apparel ta'en from me, and these detestable things put upon me.
What, by a horseman or a footman?
Footman, sweet sir, a footman.
Indeed, he should be a footman by the garments he has left with thee. Lend me thy hand. I'll help thee. Come, lend me thy hand.
Oh, good sir, tenderly. Oh.
Alas, poor soul.
Oh, good sir, softly, good sir. I fear, sir, my shoulder blade is out.
How now? Can't stand?
Softly, dear sir, good sir, softly. You had done me a charitable office.
Dost lack any money? I have a little money for thee.
No, good, sweet sir, no. I beseech you, sir. I have a kinsman not past 3/4 of a mile hence, unto whom I was going. I shall there have money or anything I want. Offer me no money, I pray you. That kills my heart.
What manner of fellow was he that robbed you?
Ah, fellow sir, that I have known to go about with troll my dames. I knew her once a servant of the prince. She hath been since an ape-bearer, then a process server, a bailiff. Then she compassioned a motion of the prodigal son, and married a tinker within a mile where my land and living lies. And having flown over many knavish professions, she settled only in rogue. Some call her Autolycus.
Out upon her! Prig! For my life, prig! She haunts wakes, fairs, and bear baitings!
Very true, sir. She. That's the rogue that put me into this peril.
Not a more cowardly rogue in all Bohemia. If you had but looked big and spit at her, she'd have run.
I must confess, sir, I am no fighter. I am false of heart that way, and that she knew, I warrant her.
How do you now?
Sweet sir, much better than I was. I can stand and walk. I will even take my leave of you and pace softly towards my kinsmen's.
Shall I bring thee on the way?
Oh, no, good-faced sir, no, sweet sir.
Then fare thee well. I must go buy spices for our sheep shearing.
Prosper you, sweet sir. Your purse is not hot enough to purchase your spice. I'll be with you at your sheep shearing, too. If I make not this cheat bring out another, and the shears prove sheep, let me be unrolled and my name put into the book of virtue. Jog on the footpath way, and merrily hent the styla. A merry heart goes all the day, your sad tires in a mile.
These your unusual weeds to each part of you does give a life. No shepherdess, but Flora, peering in April's front, this your sheep shearing is as a meeting of the petty gods, and you, the queen on it.
Sir, my gracious lord, to chide at your extremes it not becomes me. Oh, pardon that I name them. Your high self, the gracious Marc of the land, you have obscured with a swain's wearing, and me, poor lowly maid, most goddess-like pranked up. But that our feasts in every mess have folly, and the feeders digest it with a custom, I should blush to see you so attired. Swoon, I think, to show myself a glass.
I bless the time when my good falcon made her flight across thy mother's ground.
Now Jove afford you cause. To me, the difference forges dread. Your greatness hath not been used to fear. Even now I tremble to think your father should by some accident pass this way as you did. Oh, the fates! How would he look to see his work, so noble, vilely bound up? What would he say? Or how should I, in these my borrowed flaunts, behold the sternness of his presence?
Apprehend nothing but jollity. The gods themselves, humbling their deities to love, have taken the shapes of beasts upon them. Jupiter became a bull and bellowed, the green Neptune a ram and bleated, and the fire-robed god, golden Apollo, a poor, humble swain, as I seem now. Their transformations were never for a piece of beauty rarer, nor in a way so chaste, since my desires run not before mine honor, nor my lusts burn hotter than my faith.
Oh, but sir, your resolution cannot hold when 'tis opposed, as it must be, by the power of the king. One of these two must be necessities, which then will speak, that you must change this purpose, or I my life.
Oh, dearest Perdita, with these forced thoughts, I prithee, darken not the mirth of the feast, or I'll be thine, my fair, or not my father's, for I cannot be mine own, nor anything to any, if I be not thine. To this I am most constant, though destiny say no. Be merry, gentle, strangle such thoughts as these with anything that you behold the while. Your guests are coming. Lift up your countenance, as it were the day of celebration of that nuptial which we two have sworn shall come.
Oh, Lady Fortune, stand you auspicious.
See your guests approach. Address yourself to entertain them sprightly, and let's be read with mirth.
My daughter, when my old wife lived upon this day, she was both pantler, butler, cook, both dame and servant, welcomed all, served all, would sing her song and dance her turn, now here at upper end of the table, now in the middle, on his shoulder and on his, her face afire with labor. And the thing she took to quench it, she would to each one sip. You are retired as if you were a feasted one and not the hostess of the meeting. Pray you bid these unknown friends to us welcome, for it is a way to make us better friends, more known. Come, quench your blushes and present yourself that which you are, the mistress of the feast.
Sir, welcome. It is my mother's will I should take on me the hostesship of the day. You're welcome, sir. Give me those flowers there, Dorcas. Reverend sirs, for you there's rosemary and rue. These keep seeming in savor all winter long. Grace and remembrance be to you both, and welcome to our shearing.
Shepherdess, a fair one are you. Well you fit our ages with flowers of winter.
Here's flowers for you. Hot lavender, mints, savory, marjoram, the marigold that goes to bed with the sun and with him rises weeping. These are flowers of middle summer, and I think they are given to men of middle age. You're very welcome.
I should leave by grazing were I of your flock and only live by gazing.
Oh, alas, you'd be so lean that blasts of January would blow you through and through. Now, my fair friend, I would have had some flowers of the spring that might become your time of day. And yours, but upon your virgin branches yet your maidenhead's growing.
When you speak, sweet, I'd have you do whatever. When you sing, I'd have you buy and sell so. So give alms, pray so, and for the ordering your affairs to sing them too. When you do dance, I wish you a wave of the sea that you might ever do nothing but that. Move still so, and oh, no other function.
Dorcles, your praises are too large, but that your youth and the true blood which peeps fairly through it do plainly give you out an unstained shepherd. With wisdom, I might fear, my Dorcles, you wooed me the false way.
I think you have as little skill to fear as I have purpose to put you to it. But come, our dance, I pray. Your hand, my Perdita. So turtles pair that never mean to part.
I'll swear for him.
This is the prettiest lowborn lass that ever ran on the greensward. Nothing she does or seems but smacks of something greater than herself, too noble for this place.
He tells her something that makes her blood look out. Good sooth, she is the queen of birds and cream.
Come on, strike up!
Mopsa must be your mistress? Marry, garlic to mend her kissing with.
Now, in good time.
Not a word! A word! We stand upon our manners. Come on, strike up!
Pray, good shepherd, what fair swain is this which dances with your daughter?
They call him Doricles, and boasts himself to have a worthy feeding. But I have it upon his own report, and I believe it. He looks like sooth. He says he loves my daughter. I think so too. For never gaze the moon upon the water, as he'll stand and read as to where my daughter sighs. And to be plain, I think there is not half a kiss to choose who loves another best.
She dances featly.
So she does anything, though I reported that should be silent. If young Doricles do light upon her, she shall bring him that which he not dreams of.
If you didn't hear the peddler at the door, you would never dance again after a tabor and pipe. No, the bagpipe could not move you. She sings several tunes faster than you'll tell money. She upset as she had eaten ballads, and all men's ears grew to her tunes.
She could never come better. She shall come in. I love a ballad.
She has songs for man or woman of all sizes. She has the prettiest love songs for maids, though without Audrey, which is strange. With such delicate burdens of dildos and fadings, jump her and thump her.
This is a brave lass.
Believe me, thou tallest of an admirable conceited fellow, bring her in, and let her approach singing. Forewarn her that she use no scurrilous words in her tunes.
Lawn is white as driven snow, cypress black as air was crow, gloves as sweet as damask roses, masks for faces and for noses, bugle bracelet, necklace amber, perfume for a lady's chamber, golden coifs and stomachers for my lads to give their dears, pins and poking sticks of steel, what maids lack from head to heel, come buy of me, come. Come by, buy, lads, or else your lasses cry, come by.
If I were not in love with Mopsa, thou shouldst take no money of me. But being enthralled as I am, it will also be the bondage of certain ribbons and gloves.
I was promised them against the feast, but they come not too late now.
He hath promised you more than that, or there be liars.
He has paid you all he promised you. Maybe he has paid you more, which will shame you to give him again.
Is there no manners left among you two? Must you be tittle-tattling before all our guests? 'Tis well they are whispering. Clamor your tongues, and not a word more.
I have done. Come, you promised me a tiny lace and a pair of sweet gloves.
Have I not told thee how I was cozened by the way and lost all my money?
And indeed, sir, there are cozeners abroad. Therefore it behooves men to be wary.
Fear not thou, lady. Thou shalt lose nothing here.
I hope so, sir, for I have about me many parcels of chard.
What hast here? Ballads?
Oh, pray now buy some. I love a ballad in print of life, for then we are sure they are true.
Here's one to a very doleful tune, how a usurer's wife was brought to bed of 20 money bags at a burden, and how she longed to eat adders' heads and toads carbonadode.
Is it true, you think?
Very true, and but a month old.
Bless me for marrying a usurer.
Pray you now buy it.
Here's another ballad of a fish that appeared upon the coast of Wednesday, the fourscore of April, 40,000 fathom above water, and sung this ballad against the hard hearts of maids. It was thought she was a woman and was turned into a cold fish, for she would not exchange flesh with the one that loved her.
Is it true too, think you?
Oh, let's have some merry ones.
Why, this is a passing merry one, and goes to the tune of two maids wooing a man.
Oh, we can both sing it.
We had the tune on it a month ago.
I can bear my part. You must know 'tis my occupation. Get you hence, for I must go where it fits not you to know.
Whither,
Oh, whither
whither?
it becomes thy own full well, thou to me thy secrets tell.
Me too, let me go thither.
Or thou goest to the grange or mill.
If to either thou dost ill.
Neither,
What, neither?
neither.
Thou hast worn my love to thee.
Thou hast sworn it more to me than whither goest, say whither.
We'll have this song out anon by ourselves. You two. I'll have you both. Peddler, let's have the first choice. Follow me.
and you shall pay well for 'em.
Mistress, there is carters, shepherds, neathers, swineherds. They call themselves satyrs, and they have a dame, which the wenches say is a gallifrey of gambles. It will please plentifully.
Away! Well, none of it. Here has been too much homely Foley already. I know, sir, we weary you.
You weary those that refresh us. Pray, let's see these herdsmen.
Well, since these good men are pleased, let them come in. But quickly now.
Is it not too far gone? 'Tis time to part them. He's simple, and he tells much.
How now, fair shepherd? Your heart is full of something that does take your mind from feasting. Sooth, when I was young and handed love as you do, I was wont to load my she with knacks. I would have ransacked the peddler's silken treasury and have poured it to her acceptance. You have let him go and nothing marred with him.
Old sir, I know she prizes not such trifles as these are. The gifts she looks from me are packed and locked up in my heart, which I have given already, but not delivered. Oh, hear me breathe my life before this ancient sir, who, it should seem, hath sometime loved. I take thy hand, this hand as soft as dove's down.
Follows this. Let me hear what you profess.
Be witness to it.
And this my neighbor too?
And he, and more than he, and men, the earth, the heavens, and all, that were I crowned the most imperial monarch thereof most worthy, were I the fairest youth that ever made I swerve, had force and knowledge more than was ever man's, I would not prize them without her love. For her, employ them all, commend them, and condemn them to her service, or to their own perdition.
Fairly offered.
This shows a sound affection.
But, my daughter, say you the like to him.
Cannot speak so well, no, nothing so well, nor mean better. By the pattern of mine own thoughts, I cut out the purity of his.
Take hands. A bargain. And friends unknown, you shall be witness to it. I give my daughter to him, and will make his portion equal his. Come, your hand, and daughter, yours.
Soft, swain, a while beseech you. Have you a father?
I have, but what of him?
Knows he of this?
He neither does nor shall.
Methinks a father is at the nuptial of his son, a guest that best becomes by the table. Pray you once more, is your father grown incapable of reasonable affairs? Is he not stupid with age and altering rooms? Can he speak? Hear? No man for man, dispute his own estate? Lies he not bedrid and again does nothing but what he did being childish?
No, good sir, he has his health, and ampler strength indeed than most have of his age.
By my white beard, you offer him, if this be so, a wrong, something unfilial. Let him know it.
He shall not.
Prithee, let him.
No, he must not.
Let him, my son, he shall not need to grieve at knowing of thy choice.
Come, he must not. Mark our contract.
Mark your divorce, young sir, whom son I dare not call. Thou art too base to be acknowledged. Thou, old traitor, I am sorry that by hanging thee I can but shorten thy life 1 week. And thou, fresh piece of excellent witchcraft, whom of force must know the royal fool thou copes with, I'll have thy beauty scratched with briars and made more homely than thy state. Mark thou my words. Follow us to the court, if ever henceforth thou these rural latches to his entrance open, or hoop his body more with thy embraces, I will devise a death as cruel for thee as thou art tender to it.
Even here undone. I was not much afeard, for once or twice I was about to speak and tell him plainly the selfsame sun that shines upon his court hides not its visage from our cottage. Will't please you, sir, to be gone? I told you what would come of this. Beseech you, of your own state take care. This dream of mine, being now awake, I'll queen it no inch farther, but milk ewes and weep.
Why, how now, shepherd?
I cannot speak, nor think. Oh, sir, you have undone a woman of 3, that though to feel her grave in quiet, yea, to die upon the bed my father die. O cursed wretch, thou knewst he was the prince, and wouldst adventure to mingle fate with him. If I die within this hour, I have lived to die when I desire.
Why look you so upon me? I am but sorry, not afeared. Delayed, but nothing altered. What I was, I am. More straining on for plucking back, not following my leash unwillingly.
Gracious my lord, you know your father's temper. At this time he will allow no speech, which I do guess you do not purpose to him, and as hardly will he endure your sight, as yet I fear. Then, till the fury of his highness settle, come not before him.
I not purpose it.
How often have I told you 'twould be thus? How often said my dignity would last but till 'twere known?
It cannot fail, but by the violation of my faith. And then let nature crush the sides of the earth together and mar the seeds within. Lift up thy looks. From my succession, wipe me, Father. I am heir to my affection.
Be advised.
I am, and by my fancy. If my reason will thereto be obedient, I have reason. If not, my senses, better pleased with madness, do bid it welcome.
This is desperate, sir.
So call it. But it does fulfill my vow. I needs must think it honesty, Camillo. Not for Bohemia, nor the pomp that may be thereat gleaned. For all the sun sees, or the close earth wombs, or the profound seas hides in unknown fathoms, will I break my oath to this my fair beloved. Therefore, I pray you, as you have ever been my father's honored friend, when he shall miss me, as in faith I may not to see him any more, cast your good counsels on his passion. Let myself and fortune tug for the time to come. This you may know, and so deliver. I am put to sea with her whom here I cannot hold on shore. And most important to our need, I have a vessel rides fast by, but not prepared for this design. What course I mean to hold shall nothing benefit your knowledge, nor concern me the reporting.
Oh, my lord, I would your spirit were easier for advice or stronger for your need. Sir, I think you have heard of my poor services in the love that I have borne your father?
Very nobly.
Well, my lord, if you may please to think, I love the king, and through him what's nearest to him, which is your gracious self. Embrace but my direction. If your ponderous and settled project may suffer alteration, on mine honor, I'll point you where you shall have such receiving as shall become your highness, where you may enjoy your mistress, from the whom I see there's no disjunction to be made but by, as heavens forbid your ruin, marry her, and with my best endeavors in your absence, your discontenting father strive to qualify and bring him up to liking.
How? Camillo, may this almost a miracle be done?
Have you thought on the place where you'll go?
Not any yet.
Then listen to me. If you will not change your purpose and but undergo this flight, make for Sicilia, and present yourself and your fair princess, for so I see she must be before Leontes. She shall be habited as it becomes the partner of your bed. Methinks I see Leontes opening his free arms and weeping his welcomes forth, asks thee, son, forgiveness, as 'twere in the father's person.
My prettiest Perdita. But oh, the thorns we stand upon, Camillo, preserver of my father, now of me, the medicine of our house. How shall we do? We are not furnished like Bohemia's son, nor shall appear in Sicilia.
My lord, fear none of this. I think you know my fortunes do all lie there. It shall be so my care to have you royally appointed as if the scene you play were mine.
What a fool honesty is, and trust his sworn brother, a very simple gentleman. I have sold all my trumpetry, not a counterfeit stonum, not a ribbon, glass, pomander, brooch, table book, ballad, knife, glove, shoe, bracelet. They throng who should buy first, as if my trinkets had been hallowed and brought benediction to the buyer. I saw whose purse was best in picture, and what I saw, to my good use, I remembered. Had not the old man come in with the hubbub against his daughter and the king's son, and scared my chuffs from the chaff, I had not left a purse alive in the whole army.
Nay, but my letters by this means being there, so soon as you arrive, shall clear any doubt.
And those that you'll procure from King Leontes
shall satisfy your father.
Happy be you. All that you speak shows fair.
Who have we here? How now, good friend?
If they have overheard me now, why, hanging.
Miss, why shakest thou so? Fear not, lady, there's no harm intended to thee.
I am a poor woman, sir.
Why, be so still. Nobody here will steal from thee. Yet, for the outside of thy poverty, we must make an exchange. Change garments with this gentleman. There's some boot.
Oh.
I am a poor woman, sir. I know you well enough.
Nay, prithee, dispatch. The gentleman is half flayed already.
Are you in earnest, sir? I smell a trick on it.
Dispatch, I prithee.
Indeed, I have had earnest, but I cannot with conscience take it.
Unbuckle, unbuckle, fortunate mistress. Let my prophecy come home to you. You must retire yourself into some covert. Take your sweetheart's hat and pluck it o'er your brows. Muffle your face, dismantle you, and as you can, dislike in the truth of your own seeming, that you may, for I do fear eyes over, to shipboard get undescried.
I see the play so lies that I must bear a part.
No remedy. Have you done there?
Should I now meet my father, he would not call me son.
Come, lady, come. Farewell, my friend.
Adieu, sir.
Fortune speed us. Thus we set on, Camillo, to the seaside.
Swifter speed, the better.
What an exchange had this been without boot? What boot is here with this exchange? Sure, the gods do this year connive at us, and we may do anything extempore. The prince himself is about a piece of iniquity, stealing away from his father with his clog at his heels. If I thought it were a piece of honesty to acquaint the king withal, I would not do it. I hold it the more knavery to conceal it, and therein I am constant to my profession. Aside, aside, here is more matter for a hot brain.
See? What a woman you are now! There is no other way but to tell the king she's a changeling and none of your flesh and blood.
Nay, but hear me.
Nay, but hear me. She, being none of your flesh and blood has not offended the king, and so your flesh and blood is not to be punished by him. Show these things you found about her, those secret things, all but what she has with her. This being done, let the law go whistle. I warrant you.
I will tell the king all, every word, ye, and his son's pranks too. Pray heartily he'd be at the palace.
Though I am not naturally honest, I am sometimes by chance. How now, rustics? Whither are you bound?
To the palace. Ain't like you, your worship?
Your affairs there? What, with whom, the condition of that fardel, the place of your dwelling, your names, your ages, of what having, breeding, and anything else that is fit to be known, discover.
Are but plain people, sir.
Are you a courtier? Ain't like you, ma'am?
Whether it like me or no, I am a courtier. Whereupon I command thee to open thy affair.
My business, ma'am, is to the king.
What advocate hast thou to him?
I know not, ain't like you.
This must be a great courtier.
Her garments are rich, but she wears them not handsomely.
That fardel there, what's i' the fardel? Wherefore that box?
Ma'am, there lies such secrets in this fardel and box, which none must know but the king.
The king is not at the palace. He is gone aboard a new ship to purge melancholy. The king is full of grief.
Yes, so 'tis said, ma'am, about his son, that should have married a shepherd's daughter.
If that shepherd be not in handfast, let her fly. The curses she shall have, the tortures she shall feel, will break the back of a man, the heart of a monster.
Think you so, ma'am?
Not she alone shall suffer what wit can make heavy and vengeance bitter. Some say she shall be stoned, but that death is too soft for her, say I. She has a son who shall be flayed alive, then anointed over with honey and set on the head of a wasp's nest. But what talk we of these traitorly rascals? Tell me, for you seem honest, plain people, what you have to the king. Being something gently considered, I'll bring you where he is abroad, tender your persons to his presence.
She seems to be of great authority. Close with her, give her gold, and though authority be a stubborn bear, he is oft led by the nose with gold.
And to please you, ma'am, to undertake this business for us, here's the gold I have. I'll make it as much more and leave this young man in pawn till I bring it to you.
After I have done what I promised?
Aye, ma'am.
Well, give me the moiety. I will trust you. Walk before toward the seaside. Go on the right hand. I will but look upon the hedge and follow you. If I had a mind to be honest, I see fortune would not suffer me. I am courted now with double occasion, gold, and a means to do my prince, my master, good, which who knows how that may turn back to my advancement. I will bring these two moles, these blind ones, aboard him. If he think it fit to shore them again, and that the complaint they have to the king concerns him nothing, let him call me rogue for being so far officious, for I am proof against that title and what else shame belongs to it. To him I will present them. There may be matter in it.
Sir, you have done enough. At the last, do as the heavens have done. Forgive your evil with them, forgive yourself.
Whilst I remember her and her virtues, I cannot forget my blemishes in them, and so still think of the wrong I did myself, which was so much that heirless it hath made my kingdom, and destroyed the sweetest companion that e'er man bred his hopes out of.
True, too true, my lord. If one by one you wedded all the world, or from the all that are took something good to make a perfect woman, she you killed would be unparalleled.
I think so. Killed. She I killed. I did so, but thou strikes me sorely to say I did. It is as bitter upon my tongue as in my thought. Now, good now, say so but seldom.
There is none worthy respecting her that's gone. The gods will have fulfilled their secret purposes. For is not the divine Apollo said that King Leontes shall not have an heir till his lost child be found? Which, that it shall, is all as monstrous to our human reason as my Antigonus to break his grave, coming into me, who on my life did perish with the infant.
Good Paulina, who has the memory of Hermione, I know in honor. Oh, that ever I had squared me to thy counsel. Then, even now, I might have looked upon my queen's full eyes, have taken treasure from her lips.
And left them more rich for what they yielded.
Thou speakest truth. No more such wives, Therefore, no wife. One worse and better used would make her sainted spirit again possess her corpse, and on this stage, were we offenders now, appear soul vexed and begin, why, to me.
Had she such power, she had just cause.
She had, and would incense me to murder her I married.
I should so. Were I the ghost that walked, I'd bid you mark her eye and tell me for what dull part in it you chose her. Then I'd shriek that even your ears should rip to hear me, and the words that followed should be, remember mine.
Stars, stars, and all eyes else dead coals. Fear thou no wife. I'll have no wife, Paulina.
Will you swear never to marry but by my free leave?
Never, Paulina. So be blessed, my spirit.
Unless another is like Hermione, as in her picture affronts your eye. Yet if you will marry, you will, sir, no remedy but you will, give me the office to choose you a queen. She shall not be so young as was your former, but she shall be such as walked your first queen's ghost, it should take joy to see her in your arms.
My true Paulina, we shall not marry till thou bidst us.
That shall be when your first queen's again in breath. Never till then.
One that gives out himself Prince Florizel, son of Polixenes, with his princess, she the fairest I have yet beheld, derives access to your high presence.
What with him? He comes not like to his father's greatness. His approach, so out of circumstance and sudden, tells us 'tis not a visitation framed, but forced by need and accident. What train?
But few, and those but mean.
His princess, say you, with him?
Aye, the most peerless piece of earth, I think, that ere the sun shone bright on.
Go, sir, bring them to our embracement. Still, 'tis strange he thus should steal upon us.
Had our prince, jewel of children, seen this hour, he had paired well with this lord. There was not a month between their births.
Prithee, no more. Cease. Your mother was most true to wedlock, prince, for she did print your royal father off conceiving you. Were I but 21, your father's image is so hit in you, his very heir, that I should call you brother if I did him. Most dearly welcome, and your fair princess. Goddess. Oh. Alas, I lost a couple that twixt heaven and earth might thus have stood, begetting wonder, as you, gracious couple, do. And then I lost all mine own folly, the society, amity too, of your brave father, whom, though bearing misery, I desire my life once more to look on him.
By his command have I here touched, Cecilia, and from him give you all greetings that a king at friend can send his brother.
Welcome hither, as is the spring to the earth. The blessed gods purge all infection from our air whilst you do climate here. You have a holy father, a graceful gentleman, against whose person, so sacred as it is, I have done sin, for which the heavens, taking angry note, have left me issueless. And your father's blessed, as he from heaven merits it with you, worthy his goodness. What might I have been? Might I, a son and daughter, now have looked on such goodly things as you?
Please you, great sir, Bohemia greets you from himself by me, desires you to attach his son, who has his dignity and duty both cast off, fled from his father, from his hopes, and with a shepherd's daughter.
Where's Bohemia? Speak.
Here in your city. I now came from him to your court in the chase, it seems, of this fair couple. He met on the way the father of this seeming lady and her brother, having both their country quitted with this young prince.
Camillo has betrayed me, whose honor and whose honesty till now endured all weathers.
Go to his charge. He's with the king, your father.
Who? Camillo?
Camillo, sir. I spoke with him, who now has these poor men in question. Never saw I wretches so quake. They kneel, they kiss the earth, forswear themselves as often as they speak. Bohemia stops his ears and threatens them with diverse deaths in death.
Oh, my poor mother! The heavens set spies upon us. We'll not have our contract celebrated.
You are married?
We are not, sir, nor are we like to be.
Is this the daughter of a king?
She is, when once she is my wife.
I will to your father. Your honor not o'erthrown by your desires. I am a friend to them and you, upon which errand I now go toward him. Therefore, follow me and mark the way I make. Come, good my lord.
Excuse me, sir. What know you of the court?
Much has happened, friend. Bohemia and Sicilia are reunited after 16 years, and with much reveling. New friends made, old things found.
Beseech you, sir, were you present at this relation?
I was by at the opening of the fardel, heard the old shepherd deliver the manner how she found it, whereupon, after a little amazedness, we were all commanded out of the chamber. Only this, methought I heard the shepherd say, she found the child. The changes I perceived in the king and Camilla were very notes of admiration. They seemed almost, with staring on one another, to tear the cases of their eyes. There was speech in their dumbness, language in their very gesture. They looked as they had heard of a world ransomed or one destroyed. A notable passion of wonder appeared in them, but the wisest beholder that knew no more but seeing could not say if the importance were joy or sorrow. Here comes the gentleman that happily knows more. The news.
Nothing but bonfires. The oracle is fulfilled. The king's daughter is found. The mantle of Queen Hermione, her jewel about the neck of it, the letter of Antigonus found with it, which they knew to be his character, the majesty of the creature in resemblance of the mother, the affection of nobleness which nature shows about her breeding, and many other evidences proclaim her will all certainly to be the king's daughter. Did you see the meeting of the two kings?
No.
Then you have lost a sight which was to be seen, cannot be spoken of. There might you have beheld one joy crown another, so and in such matter that it seemed sorrow wept to take leave of them, for their joy waited in tears. There was casting up of eyes, holding up of hands, with countenance of such distraction that they were to be known by garment, not by favor. Our king, being ready to leap out of himself for joy of his found daughter, as if the joy were now become a loss, cries, "Oh, thy mother! Thy mother!" Then asks Bohemia forgiveness, then embraces his son-in-law, then again worries he his daughter with clipping her. I never saw such an encounter, which lames report to follow it, and undoes description to do it.
This act was worth the audience of kings and princes, for by such was it acted.
One of the prettiest touches of all was when at the relation of the queen's death, with the manner how she came to it bravely confessed and lamented by the king, how attentiveness wounded his daughter till, from one sign of dolour to another, she did with an, alas, I would fain say, bleed tears, for I am sure my heart wept blood, who was most marvel their changed colour, some swooned, all sorrowed. If all the world could have seen it, the wood had been universal.
Are they returned to the court?
No, the princess hearing of her mother's statue, which is in the keeping of Paulina, they intend to sup, a piece many year in doing and now nearly performed by the rare Italian master Giulio Romano, who had he himself eternity and could put breath into his work. So perfectly is his imitator. He's so near to Hermione, they say one would speak to her and stand in hope of an answer.
Shall we thither? And with our company peace the rejoicing.
Our absence makes us unthirsty to our knowledge. Let's along.
Now, had I not the dash of my former life in me, would preferment drop on my head. But 'tis all one to me, for had I been the finder out of this secret, it would not have relished among my other discredits. Here come those I have done good to against my will, and already appearing in the blossoms of their fortune.
You are well met, ma'am. See you these clothes? Say you see them not, and think me still no gentleman born. Give me the lie, do, and try whether I am not now a gentleman born.
I know you are now, sir, a gentleman born.
I, and have been so any time these 4 hours.
And so have I, boy.
So you have.
I humbly beseech you both to pardon me all the faults I have committed to your worship, and to give me your good report to the prince my master.
Prithee, son, do, for we must be gentle now we are gentles.
Hark! The kings and princes, our kindred, are going to see the queen's statue. Come, follow us. We'll be thy good masters.
O grave and good Paulina, the great comfort that I have had of thee.
What, sovereign sir, I did not well, I meant well. All my services you have paid home, but that you have vouchsafed with your crowned brother and these your contracted heirs of your kingdoms my poor house to visit, it is a surplus of your grace which never my life may last to answer.
Oh, Paulina, we honor you with trouble, but we came to see the statue of our queen. Your gallery have we passed through, not without much content in many singularities, but we saw not that which my daughter came to look upon, the statue of her mother.
As she lived peerless, though her dead likeness I do well believe excels whatever yet you looked upon or hand of man hath done. Therefore I keep it lonely apart, but here it is. Prepare to see the life as livery mocked as ever still sleep mocked death. Behold, and say 'tis well.
Her natural posture. Chide me, dear stone, that I may say indeed thou art Hermione. But yet Paulina Hermione was not so much wrinkled, nothing so aged as this seems.
Not by much.
So much the more our carver's excellence, which lets go by some 16 years and makes her as she lived now.
As now she might have done, so much to my good comfort as it is now piercing my soul. No, thus she stood even with such life of majesty, warm life, as now it coldly stands when I first wooed her. I am ashamed. Does not the stone rebuke me for being more stone than it? O royal peace, there's magic in thy majesty, which has my evils conjured to remembrance, and from thy admiring daughter took the spirits standing like stone with thee.
Give me leave, and do not say 'tis superstition that I kneel and then implore her blessing. Lady, dear queen that ended when I but began, give me that hand of yours to kiss.
Oh, patience, the statue is but newly fixed, the color's not dry.
My lord, your sorrow was too sore laid on, which 16 winters cannot blow away, so many summers dry. Scarce any joy did so long live, no sorrow but killed itself much sooner.
Dear my brother, let him that was the cause of this have power to take off so much grief from you as he will pieces up in himself.
If I had thought the sight of my poor image would thus have wrought you, for the stone is mine, I'd not have showed it.
Do not draw the curtain.
No longer shall you gaze on it, lest your fancy may think anon it moves.
Masterly done. The very life seems warm upon her lip.
The fixture of her eye has motion in it, as we are mocked with art.
I'll draw the curtain, he'll think anon it lives.
Oh, sweet Paulina, make me to think so 20 years together. No settled senses of the world can match the pleasure of that madness. Let it alone.
I am sorry, sir, I have thus far stirred you, but I could afflict you further.
Do, Paulina, for this affliction has a taste as sweet as any cordial comfort. Let no man mock me, for I will kiss her.
Good my lord, forbear, the ruddiness upon her lip is wet. Quit presently the chapel, or resolve you for more amazement. If you can behold it, I'll make the statue move, indeed descend, and take you by the hand.
Proceed.
'Tis time. Descend, bestow no more, approach.
Oh, she's warm.
If she pertain to life, let her speak too.
Aye, and make it manifest where she has lived, or how stolen from the dead.
That she is living, were it but told you, should be hooted at like an old tale. But it appears she lives, though yet she speak not. Mark a little while. Please you to interpose, fair madam. Kneel and pray your mother's blessing. Turn, good lady, our Perdita is found.
You gods, look down, and with your sacred vials pour your graces upon my daughter's head. Oh, tell me, mine own, where hast thou been preserved? Where lived? How found thy father's court?
It's time enough for that. Lest they desire upon this push to trouble your joys with like relation. Go together, you precious winners all, your exaltation partake to everyone. I, an old turtle, will wing me to some withered bow, and there my mate, that's never to be found again, lament till I am lost.
Oh, peace, Paulina. Thou shouldst a husband take by my consent, as I by thine a wife. Thou hast found mine, but how is to be questioned. For I saw her as I thought dead, and have in vain said many a prayer upon her grave. It's from this place. What? Look upon my brother, both your pardons, that ere I put between your holy looks my ill suspicion, this, your son-in-law, and son unto the king, whom heaven's directing, his troth plight to your daughter. Good Paulina, lead us from hence, where we may leisurely each one demand an answer to their part performed in this wide gap of time, since first we were dissevered. Hastily lead away.
Oh my God.
It's okay. It's okay.
There's a gag reel, right?
Yeah.
There will be now.
Okay, good.
So it's what's going to roll under the credits.